Hi guys, we're at Suus today with Matt Barton, the Australian wild card in Moto3, sponsored Suus rider for this year's 2015 Phillip Island MotoGP.
Hey guys.
How you going, Matty?
Good.
Welcome. Yeah, pretty good. You got a wild card into this year's MotoGP.
Yeah, it's all pretty exciting experience, and the lead up and everything like that's is pretty awesome. So it's gonna be really fun.
How old were you when you first got into motorcycle racing?
Well, I started riding when I was 4 years old. I started out on a PV50, which I think most people start out on. It's a pretty common sort of thing. Yeah, just used to ride around. There's a bit of land in my house. We just used to ride around there. Me and my dad used to go out for a couple of hours at a time, and he taught me how to ride. And then when I was 11 years old, started riding in Mini Kana, and just a little bit of a local racing sort of thing. And then when I was 13, I progressed on to doing the road racing thing in the junior 80cc class, and from there, in 2012, started riding a 125, and 2013 jumped on a Moto3 bike, and we basically just progressed from there and started out on the standard NSF Honda, and now we're on the sort of the more Grand Prix spec FTR Honda, which is a very big difference between your standard one and your Grand Prix spec. So
Motorcycle racing is quite a dangerous sport. Have you had many injuries in the past, and if so, what's your worst one?
Yeah, in 2014 in April, I broke my pelvis, which was a pretty big injury. Yeah, it was pretty painful. The months of rehab were it was long. It was long, and what happened was that I was in a track up in Queensland, and I was coming off a long straight, and I just went to grab the brakes and had a brake disc fail. It just shattered into about 10 different pieces, and I basically couldn't stop, so I just ran straight on, and the data said that I cleaned up the tyre wall at about 140 kilometres an hour, and we ended up with a broken pelvis. Yeah, lucky. Yeah, you could say lucky to survive, but there's definitely a lot of things went through my head after. But yeah, ended up with a broken pelvis and a whole lot of other damages, 12 stitches in my chin, and shattered teeth, and yeah, that's definitely one that sticks out to me as the worst. So
yeah, that sounds pretty nasty. How did this partnership with Suus come about?
Yeah, they got in contact with me and asked me to become a bit of an ambassador for their brand, and yeah, I jumped on board, and from there they've told them about getting the wild card, and told them my goals and what we want to get out of it, and they decided that they're, as a company, they're looking to go in the same direction, and yeah, they jumped on board, and here they are, naming rights sponsor for our MotoGP campaign. So we were really pleased and really humbled for their support. So the professionalism of the company, sort of alongside with ourselves, is really just helping us lift our profile and come across a little bit more like we mean business. We're there to do a job, and we're there to put ourselves on show. And Suus being a reasonably new company, established in 2013, they're there to prove a real game changer as well for obviously the clothing industry and motorcycle apparel and all that thing. So we have common goals. We have where we want to be, and I'm in that market. So yeah, we basically just went from there.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like a good partnership and complementary.
Yeah.
Is this your first international start?
It's not going to be my first international event. No, I've rode in Malaysia a couple of times in their local series there, but it is my first World Championship event, so that's probably the most nerve-wracking thing about it. I've actually rode with some of the guys that are in the championship now. So obviously me and Remy Gardner come through juniors together. So that'll be different lining up against him again. Obviously he's gotten a little bit bigger, and he went overseas, and I stayed in Australia. And but a lot of the guys I rode against when I done the Red Bull Rookies tryouts, when you look at the lineup of the guys that were in my year and the guys that got through, they were the guys that are winning races now. They're in it. So yeah, it'll be different to line up, see them boys again, and I don't know, maybe I've improved a bit, I think, and
see some old friends.
Yeah, see some old friends, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So how do you prepare for something like this?
It's a very different build-up than what we've done for obviously the Australian rounds. within myself, obviously my training has changed up a little bit, but we basically changed that about 6 months ago. So we couldn't come into, we couldn't wait to us to be granted a wildcard 4 weeks out from a GP and then decide that, oh, we need to be at this level of fitness. We derived our sort of new program, and we came up with the program that I'm running now, and that's sort of helped me with my level of fitness. And we head down to Bully and Health and Fitness every couple of weeks and get sort of assessed of what we need to work on and what we need to improve. So yeah, I'm in a reasonably good position within myself. I'm more than fit enough to be able to run those races and run those times. So it's really just going to be down to the bike setup and the big difference between the factory boys and what we've made over here. So
yeah, for sure. Which riders do you look up to, or who do you look up to as an inspiration?
So obviously Valentino Rossi, someone that comes across as a very happy person and very good with the fans and has a lot of good interaction. So that's probably something that I admire, and that's I'd probably strive to be. And but then there's guys like Paul Espargaro who are just so happy and just down to earth. They're just really cool guys. Then there's just all around awesome dudes like Troy Bayliss, for instance. He's just that chill and that mellow that he's just someone that who wouldn't want to be like him. He's just the coolest dude. So
what do you hope to achieve from this year's wildcard and this GP campaign? What are your future goals and aspirations and dreams?
There's probably a few different things. Obviously, to try and lift the profile of within the general public. That's probably something that we hope to sort of get a bit of momentum from. But ultimately, I want to be offered a ride. I want to be asked to be in the World Championship full time, and I want people to think that I'm worthy of being in the World Championship full time. So if all things go to plan and people are impressed enough with my result or maybe my performance throughout practice or qualifying, something like that could come about. But it's really just to jumpstart my whole overseas racing career. Obviously, I want to go over, ride in Europe next year, ride in the Spanish Championship, and base myself in England and ride in a few of their rounds as well. So it's just based. I want to put my name out there. I want to show that this is what I can do, and I have the potential, and hopefully some people can come on board and enjoy that experience with us. So.
What's your favourite track that you've ever ridden?
Phillip Island. I think Phillip Island's, obviously not just because it's a home track and not just because it's in Australia. It's just the style of the track. It's fast, and it takes a lot of guts to go quick around there as well. It's a very mentally challenging track, and it's a track that you challenge yourself to go faster. Every time you go into a corner, you think, come out of it, you go, yeah, I could have gone a bit faster. And it's just very very mentally challenging. You just got to have the confidence in your bike and have the confidence in yourself that you can go into a corner this fast and you're going to know what to do. And you have to ride it reasonably loose around there because it is so fast. There's so much load, there's so much force going through the bike. With the good tyres and stuff, you can go really quick around there. So, but there's a track like Sepang. That's a pretty tough track too.
So folks, you've heard it here exclusively from the Suus Lounge. Matty Barton, the next big thing to come out of Australian road racing. Get behind him, support him in his MotoGP campaign this year, and watch this space. Big things to come from this guy. Cheers, see you next time.
Lessons. A man but still a child, and I have so many questions. Struggle all my life to evade the misconceptions, then find a place to live between the negatives and positives while trying to make money, slinging synonyms and homonyms. I went to Pop's house so I could visit moms and them. Cut to the mall, copped a brand new pair of Timberlands, then dipped down a one-way time to scoop up double K and chill with my people on this bright and sunny day. My niggas split was sipping back.